Hey guys, my name's Becca. I'm gonna make this really fast. I have a book unboxing. The light is horrible. I mean, it's beautiful sunlight, but it's messing up my camera. Anyway, I have to go to work in 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna open this real fast. Barnes & Noble is having a Father's Day sale, and, well, my dad doesn't read, so I ordered something for myself. I'm excited to get it, so let's open this. These things are usually easier to open. I mean, they usually have like a pulley thing. Oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. Oh, okay. First off, we got my receipt thing. Oh my god. I did not realize how big this book was. Goodbye, packaging. It is Frozen Tides by Morgan Rose, the fourth book in the Fallen Kingdom series. Okay, this book is beautiful, and I think we all know who's on the cover of it. This is like the first time I've ever actually known who's on the cover of a Fallen Kingdoms book. I still have no idea who's on the rest of them. So I'm excited to get this because I finished the first two. I have not finished Gathering Darkness yet, but I'm gonna finish that one and hopefully then read this one and then be ready for the fifth one when it comes out. Finally. I started reading this series a long time ago when Fallen Kingdoms first came out. Like, I was ready for Rebel Spring to come out. And then Rebel Spring came out, and I didn't have money to buy it. And then I couldn't find it in any bookstore. And then I found it, and I bought it, and then I didn't read it for 3 months. And then Gathering Darkness was out, and then I still didn't read Rebel Spring. And then I read Rebel Spring, and I haven't read Gathering Darkness. Mostly because I forgot what happened in the first two. But I'm going to forget about that, and I'm going to read Gathering Darkness, and then I'm going to read this. If you don't know what the series is, I've heard people describe it as Game of Thrones for teens. I don't really know if I like that description, but it has fantasy, it has romance, it has everything. It's great and amazing, and certain characters are bae, and I really want to look at the back of this book, but I won't because spoilers. So, that's a thing. So yeah, so that's what the series is about, and if you have not read it yet, yeah, you definitely need to check out. It's like the next big thing, which is great, because when I first started reading it, there was like no hype for it at all. But they're amazing, and you need to read them. That's it for this part of the video. After I get back from work, I'm going to be filming a book haul, which you can actually see some of the books over there, although you probably can't tell what they are because of the light. But yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Bye. And something just fell over. That's wonderful. Hello BookTube, my name's Becca, and here I am with part 2 of my video. This is going to be my book haul. Rather than make this a separate video than my unboxing, because that would only be like 2 minutes long, I'm going to combine my book haul of the last few days in with that unboxing. Oh, why? Okay, this is actually not even like in the last 2 weeks. These book sale people came to my college, and I always buy books from them, so I bought books from them again. What a surprise. I bought 2 books, and they were really cheap. They were $5 each, so it was a great haul. I bought The Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith, The Awakening, and The Struggle. I love it. I've read this book a long time ago. I watched a show, and then my friend was like, hey, you gotta read the books. So I read the books, or at least the first 6? Maybe 8? I don't know. I read up to the point where L.J. Smith got fired for writing her own novels. But that happened. Anyway, I got the first 2, and then I also got the next 2, Fury and Dark Reunion. I love these books. They're so great, and it's just amazing. And if you watch the show, I definitely recommend reading these because you can see where the show came from. Yeah, they're not all that similar except for like the premise, but they're great. They're really good, and everyone should give them a try. And I just gotta say one thing, Selena, because that's my OTP. The next part of this haul is that I did a lot of cleaning in my apartment. You probably can't tell, but I did a lot of cleaning in my apartment. And I had to get rid of a lot of stuff, so I went to Goodwill, and I gave stuff to Goodwill, and it so happens that the Goodwill collection store that I usually go to is also a Goodwill bookstore. So of course I bought books. I almost bought like 10 books because I had like an entire series I wanted to buy, but then I was just like, I'm not gonna do that right now. I have too many books I need to read. So I didn't. I bought 4 books though, and they were all really cheap. I spent like $8 on 4 books. And one of them is a hardback, so It's amazing. The first book I got is Untamed by Casey and Kirsten Cass, or Kristen, or I'm not sure, something like that. But I believe it's the 4th book in the House of Night series, and it's always so great when I go to the Goodwill bookstore because they seem like they always have House of Night, and it's like always the next book in the series that I need because I already have the first 3. So I'm looking forward to just like binging this entire series. Like one of these days I'm going to go to the Goodwill bookstore and they're just going to have all of them, and I'm going to buy all of them. And they're going to be cheap because it's the Goodwill bookstore. But yeah, so I'm excited to get into this series. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm hoping it lives up to the expectations. And yeah, so this will hopefully be happening this summer. The next book I bought is, I saw it there and I picked it up the shelf. I'm like, I'm reading this. I need it. It is Will Grayson by John Green and David Leviathan. You know, I never realized it was actually by David Leviathan, but it is. I've been wanting to read Will Grayson for a really long time, and I just never did because I'd never had the book, and then like my library had it, but I never read it when I checked it out, and I never got an ebook, so I think now actually buying the book will force me to read it. I love John Green, and I really love Paper Towns. Fall in Their Stars not so much, but I love Paper Towns, and I love Let It Snow, so let's hope I love Will Grayson. I've heard good things about it, so we'll see what happens. The next book I bought, I'm actually very ashamed that I was so weak and I had to buy this book, but it was there and it was like $1, so that happened. It's Light by Michael Grant. It's the last book in the Gone series. If you don't know what Gone is, it's a series by Michael Grant about a bunch of, in this one town, everybody over the age of 14 just disappears randomly. It's called Gone. And now it's about everybody under the age of 14, so kids trying to figure out how the heck they're going to live. And it's, if you ever saw Under the Dome, it's kind of like that, like, except like it didn't have like anybody like disappearing, and it's better than that. But I thought I had the first book. I actually only have the second book, but I bought the 6th book, so I guess I have to read this because what happened with this series is I started reading it. I read like the first 3 and I loved it, or even first 4, and I loved it so much. And then by the end of the 4th book, I believe it was Plague, because that's the last one I read, I was really fed up with it. There was a couple things that a couple characters did, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I got mad at them, and there was a couple things that the author just wrote, and I'm just like, what? Why? How? What? So I kind of gave up on the series. And I wasn't going to read it. I never intended to read it. And then, of course, I see it everywhere. And it's like Book Outlet has them. And I'm like, ugh, stop. But, yeah. And then I go in the Goodwill bookstore. And I see this on the shelf. And it's $1. So, you know, I got to buy it. And now I'm going to have to buy the 5th one so I can read this one. Why do I do this to myself? And the final book I bought, which actually is probably the one I'm most excited for other than Will Grayson. It is Frozen by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. I remember hearing things about this book when it first came out. I remember people being excited and saying how beautiful the cover was, and it is gorgeous if you just look at it. But I didn't hear anything about it. And I know it's Melissa De La Cruz, so it's going to be good. I'm excited to read it. I have no clue what it's about, and that's amazing because I love being surprised with books. Let's just talk about We Were Liars here, huh? Yeah, that was fun. So I'm excited to get into this. Hopefully I can get into it this summer. Let's take the book jacket off. This is actually the first time I'm doing it, so first time I'm going to see it naked. That's pretty. I love spines, like where they incorporate like the title style into the spine. That's really pretty. It's nice. It's a nice navy blue color. That is beautiful. Yeah, here's my haul. Thanks for watching, and keep watching for my next video. Until next time, goodbye!